All right, I'll show you how this one comes off. And trust me, not all balances are created equal. And I know where those clips are because I can feel for them. And the first two are here, so I know there's at least two more. And I just lift up on it, and I've got them unclipped. But yet this is still not falling on my head. Okay. And I think there's only two plastic clips left. There's one and here's one. Okay, yeah, I think there's just two right over here, like that. And there we go. And that one's one of the little clips slipped out of its holder here. I didn't break it or anything. It was loose from before, but I'll be able to slip it back in there, and I'll take a look at it and see how it snaps back in, because somebody had tried to take it off another time. See? Now, if you were to break that, how would you fix it? Well, if you had some crazy glue with you, you could fix a little plastic clip like this, couldn't you? And I brought some with me just in case, for that very reason. But no, this one's fine. It was just loose from before. Whoever snapped it up there from before didn't have it in the right slot, so I'll go ahead and fix that now that I have it down. Okay? Alrighty. Time to go back to work. Now just take your time when you take these valances off, because not all are created equal. I looked up there, I was real careful with it, and I saw how these came off. It's just a little plastic deal at the top, and I just kind of lifted it back a little bit to unclip it, because there's a groove on the inside, and so I just had to do that in 4 spots. So now I don't have the balance. I call that a balance cover, the trim piece, okay? And so now I got to be careful with that. And I looked at these. Remember, I saw those were tight up against the wall, and there's a little bracket underneath there. I take a little screwdriver, undo the screw, and then I can at least move that back and forth. So that way it'll give me just a little bit of extra room to get on the back side of that, to get my paintbrush in there. Okay, but like I said, I'm not going to take this all down. I'm just going to paint around that, the whole blind, and leave the blind in place. There's not much paint having to do here. I can do that with the little mini roller. I can be real careful with that, and then it's all about cut in with the cut-in brush anyways. You see what I mean? And way easier than trying to paint around this trim and not get around it and have it be in your way and that kind of stuff. So what am I trying to tell you? Just spend some time, look at things, and see how they come apart. Don't just get up there and think, oh yeah, I know how this one came apart. It comes off just like the other one, I'm sure. And you start jerking on it and you crack it. Or you break one of the little clips and you're like, oh brother, now what? I knew I shouldn't have done that. I should have just painted around that. VideoJoe keeps trying to throw a monkey wrench in stuff, telling me to do this, that, and the other thing. But now I kind of see why he's telling me to do that, because I just broke something. Or I just painted around something and I didn't get all the way up in there. And then I got paint on the inside of the valance trim. I got paint on that. I got paint on the side of the door casing, because it's a stained oak trim that goes all the way around there. Now I see why he wanted me to take that off. Maybe sometime down the road they take this one off and they install something different. When they take the valance cover off, guess what? You might have changed colors on the wall, and right where the valance trim is vertical right there, they take that off and they see that it used to be a gray wall, and the new paint is the Navajo white color. Now whoever's doing it, they don't know where the touch-up paint is, who left the paint who left the paints where, when, and is it at the job site? Is it in somebody's garage? How old is it? Did somebody use it for a different job? And now you've got your other valance doesn't fit exactly where this one goes, and it's up a little higher, and you see all this kind of stuff, and you're all done, and the owner doesn't want to pay you until, hey, you told me you weren't going to be messing with my wall. Now I can see where the paint color is. What? You know, you don't have to mess with any of that now, do you? We just paint this with the valance off, and then I can carefully put it back on because I know how I took it off. Do you see what I mean? So everything has its purpose for sure. Now I wanted to show you something on here too. We've got the baseboard heater here, and lots of places along this wall we're starting to lift because the heater got hot and it started going back on the drywall because this TV and the little cabinet was against the wall here, and so I flaked off all that loose stuff, and see here's an actual drywall nail like I was telling you, and I can see where there's a bump there, there's one there, there's a couple more, so I better hit those while I'm here. And see that bottom one, because it's exposed, now I can take my hammer and my nail set. I don't want to just, if you scrape out something like that and you see a nail all just covered with spackle, well, it's going to pop out again because you didn't set the nail. I've got a little nail set here, and I'm going to go right in the middle of that nail and just poke it in a little bit, okay? Now that nail, chances are that nail is not going to pop anymore. And you know, obviously I could do that with all the nails in here, but then I'm starting to spackle too much, you know? And so I'm just going to take my putty knife and that's what I'm going to do for those. Okay. And I think I see a couple way up high. You're probably not going to see it, but I got, because I have my construction light here. It's always best to get yourself a little construction light like that. They have 250 watts, 300 watts, and 500 watts. Okay, and then you can shine your light up on the wall in certain places if you want. So good thing for me that I brought my caulking. You always got to have some caulking. Make sure you get some white caulking that's paintable. Don't get some white like some kitchen caulking or something, and then all of a sudden say, oh, that'll be good enough. I'll just paint over that. And I just happened to have the two caulkings that I thought I would bring with me. And let me just show you what I'm talking about. This one happens to be Alex Plus, I think it's called. It's painter's acrylic latex caulking, and it's 25 year, and it's designed to be painted. Paint projects, it's designed to be painted over. Now here's some Quick Seal Ultra, and this is for kitchen, bath, and plumbing. That's for around your sink, around your bathtub. But this is stuff that is non-paintable. I thought I read it somewhere. It's on here. It's on here somewhere that you can't paint over it. So you gotta read the labels very carefully, because I can't. If I were to put that on that wall over there as a patch, if I ran out of caulking, the paint's not going to cover it. You see what I mean? So not all paint can be covered. If you have 100% silicone, by the way, clear silicone, you can't paint over that. Did you know that? And if you got white, 100% silicone. You can't paint over that. If you got an off-white, if you got a bright white 100% silicone, you put that on your wall somewhere, and then you think you're going to paint it, and you're going to paint it a gray color or a green or a blue, off blue, whatever. It's not going to cover over 100% silicone. So make sure you check things out. There's all kinds of different caulking. I'm not telling you to use just this one, but this one I happen to get because it's cheaper than the other, especially when I know I'm going to be painting over it anyways. Might as well get the cheaper stuff, right? Okay, so I've got this one is about 3/4. It's about from here to here. That's plenty for this job for whatever I've got. Okay, chances are I'm probably not going to use this. If I were to use this up there above the bathtub enclosure up here, I'd have to be very careful. I'd have to put it down low enough because I would know the paint is not going to cover. But because the crack is up higher, the caulking is kind of sucked in there. The caulking's been here for who knows how long, how many times they've cracked. The crack is up higher than that. And I think I'm going to use the other caulking for that. That way it's paintable. Do you see what I mean? Or else I would have to re-scrape out this whole entire thing and make it nice and flat, and then paint the whole thing. Paint the walls. Then at the end, go around with that white and run it and install it, and now you got the nice bright white, the non-paintable caulking over there. You see what I mean? There's a right time to use it and a wrong time to use it, okay? Remember that.